What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hopefully, you had a very magnificent weekend because it was very magnificent Monday. Yes, we are into the home stretch of 2024, and eventually, we're going to start talking about 2025 and game planning for that. We got some bullishness on the SPY to start this week, led a lot by tech. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. We did have a pretty good gap up to start this week, about a 0.3% gap up there on the SPY. You can see a nice little slow, choppy turn higher. Nice, looking pretty good. Qs, pretty good gap up here on the Qs, extending into the all-time high area. Nice, about 0.5% of a gap up there on the Qs. You can see it just kind of turning higher. Up 1% right now. SPY's up 0.45%. So IWM 0.7% up right now. So looking pretty good. About 0.75% there. Basically not even a gap. A little bit of a gap down, I guess, actually to start Monday. Not much of one. But you can see there the first 30 minutes, man, that thing got just bounced really hard. So looking pretty good there on the IWM. DIA still kind of chopping sideways. Not really too directionally strong bullish, but did have a little bit of a run there the first 30 minutes, but mostly just sideways choppy. Currently up 0.1%. RSP flat open, really flat open, and nice little run higher there first 30 minutes. Currently up 0.2%. Okay. As far as how the dailies look, yeah, we hit this a huge multi 2-week every day red candle price action. It's been a long time since I've seen one like that. It's been a while. Other than that, looks pretty good. I think you're still wanting to be bullish, although you're getting into that borderline, like fringe territory of possibilities. If you break down, you got a pretty good pocket here. If you're going to go down to the next 100 moving average, I don't think so. I think we'll at least see a pop here and a little bit of a bullish move. Maybe you roll over later, but I don't think you break that down right now. But the market does what it wants. Anyways, you definitely probably haven't stopped a little bit below that 50 moving average. If this air pocket in here is a little bit worrisome to you. Don't forget you're also gonna have a pivot level here around 180 or so back from November 19th, and then you get a nice little base here, but this is on that 50 EMA. So, and this will also be below that 100 moving average. So basically, the only spot really that would save you between that 50 to 100 moving averages is going to be this level around 180, where you had a previous top over here, and you got this little dip buy spot. So, yeah, I'd imagine you're probably keeping an eye on see if we break down that 50 moving average there on the RSP. DIA, it's got a little bit further to go on the 50 moving average, but it has pulled back pretty good. I would still be wanting to be bullish, especially as you go into the end of the year. It's the seasonally, it's a very well known bullish time of year. Whether presidential election year or not, stats say this is a very, very bullish time of year. So, and we've pulled back pretty good across a lot of these ETFs. I think the only one that we haven't really is tech. Is the Qs over the past 2 weeks. Tech has finally done something. IWM looks like it's bouncing, maybe throwing a bullish engulfing on Monday, possibly. So, looks pretty good. Maybe continue higher rest of the week. Qs, yeah, Qs have been starting to be a monster again. Finally, the appetite for Qs and tech is back. Yeah, looking pretty good. SPY, nice little gap up. Kind of still just in the sideways consolidation spot. Obviously, it's still above its moving averages, so it's still looking pretty good. So as far as tech, it's kind of an interesting one because it's like if you're looking at opportunities, I could see people, especially if money, and I'm talking about across businesses, not just people, but businesses and also people. But you're going to look for really cheap alternatives, efficient alternatives. It's not just cheap, but efficient, and that is one area where tech does provide those benefits, and that is. I can't disagree with that. That's a very strong benefit why technology does very well over the long run. Is they're very efficient at figuring things out. I see some issues around like antitrust. Obviously, we know about stuff that's going on with Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. Even having some antitrust issues. So it's a tough space to really understand because it's like you don't know if some of those issues are going to really be roadblocks for long-term growth or if those are short-term hiccups. That's that's the dilemma I have with tech right now. VIX a little bit higher open on Monday. Go figure. Gap up Mondays, man, on the VIX, especially in the mid low teens. Other than that, just kind of hanging out down in the mid teen area. DXY kind of just resting again. This looks pretty bullish. You got a resting doji on Friday. As far as Monday, I see a little bit of bearishness. So you might have to see where this thing ends up by the end of the day. Right now, it looks like it's resting, but I mean, with that past like hour or so of bearish DXY price action, it might roll down by the end of the day. GLD Gold Trust. It still has this funky upper trend where you had like two of these like try to breakouts, but it's come back down to the moving averages, the 10, 20, and 50 cluster. And I think if you've been dip buying, I think you're probably just good to wait. And if it comes down to that 100, maybe later this week or next week or something like that. If you get that breakdown to the 100, that'd probably be the next spot I'd dip buy. Anyways, 10-year yield resting, looking pretty bullish with a nice little inside candle, lower wick, small candle too on the yield. If I saw that on a stock chart, I'd be pretty bullish on that. So that probably does not mean good things for bonds. 10 and 2 inversion, still moving higher. As far as HYG bouncing pretty strong today, up 0.25%. So there you go, doing pretty good there on the HYG. Trying to be supportive off of that 50 EMA. Cause it did break down that 50 EMA Friday, but it bounced back above it by open today. LQD, yeah, not seeing horrible bearishness like we were at the second half of last week, but nice little gap out, just kind of hanging out for the most part. TLT, same kind of deal. We saw a pretty good breakdown here. Got probably a little extended, getting down to the previous support kind of area and zone. I think a little bit of bounce, but it has rolled lower so far today. All right, as far as sector rotation, wow, we got some pretty good drops. Energy, the big loser on the day. XLE, okay. Materials, financials, utilities also underperforming. Healthcare, industrial staples underperforming. Tech is in line with the market. Real estate outperforming a little bit. Communications and discretionaries doing pretty good on the day. As far as intraday price action, yeah, you can see energy's really getting hit over the past hour or so. And then financials underperforming, utilities, communications actually underperforming intraday. Materials and tech a little underperformance there. As far as industrials and staples, kind of in line with the market there. Healthcare, discretionaries, and real estate outperforming on the day.